I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Monday, September the 9th, brought to you in part by Macrocin by Bimeda. Macrocin is proven efficacy at an affordable upfront price. There's no BS, that's the end of story. For more information, go to macrocin.com. Also, Joplin Regional Stockyards, big sale here today on Monday for the regular feeder cattle auction. They're sorting at 1 o'clock in the morning. They're going to start the sale at 2:30 in the morning. They are expecting about 14,000 head of cattle. They're going to have 75 to 100 loads of yearlings sold that way. They're going to have lots of big long strings. I mean, like 300-400 head in a string, and several of those. They do business, and they do it in a big way at Joplin Regional Stockyards, guys. Don't worry. You think, well, how in the heck can they have a sale at 2:30 in the morning? The buyers that need to be there will be there, and they'll keep each other honest. You don't have to worry about that. They're going to be on those big strings of yearlings early, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And the heck of it is, it's going to be hot later in the day, but the best thing is they get to do business before the board opens and hurts us anymore. After 2 big down days on Thursday and Friday, can't hardly take anymore. But I tell you what, Joplin, I mean, they get a lot of business done. They're not going to have a barbecue special and give you a free hamburger. They're not going to wait till noon, so you have plenty of time to get in there. They're going to start early. They're going to sell lots of cattle. They're going to sell them in big strings. If you want to get in on them, get in on them. If not, they're going to squeeze every drop out of them, what they're worth. So if you guys are looking for a place that does that kind of thing, or you're looking for some yearlings, be some commodity type yearlings in there too, but there'll also be some of the best ones that walk. But check them out, Joplin Regional Stockyards or joplinstockyards.com. Check them out on sale day at DVAuction.com. Go buy Joplin there on I-44 right there at Carthage, Missouri. We need a break. This market has been in a free fall since the 1st of July. And I mean, we've had a couple of bounces in there, and I've told you guys that you need to take advantage of those to get some risk management done whenever they come up. But I mean, we don't notice it. And then just like last week, both Thursday and Friday were huge down days on the board. Since early July there, our live cattle futures have lost $12 a hundred. Our feeder cattle futures have lost $24 a hundred. Ouch. Cash fat cattle have lost $16 a hundred, and cash feeders have also lost $16 a hundred. And you think, well, that doesn't seem quite as bad on the cash feeders. Well, we're running out of green grass yearlings, and people are paying up for those still. But here come the calves, and there's going to be a lot of calves coming, even though our calf crop is the smallest we've had in like 73 years or something. There's still going to be a lot of calves to market. It's going to come like it always does, right when the temperature swings are the biggest. And we're only 3 weeks away from National Dead Calf Month in October, guys. So we've got a lot of work to do. We're working through some of these calves. Now, last week, I've mentioned it a couple of times, they're late in the week. I mean, the board just coming down big, and just really killing things. Your feeder cattle board for September was down 617. October was down almost $7 a hundred just last week, and Monday it was closed for Labor Day. I mean, you just can't take beatings like that forever. But I guess you could blame the late week losses on the board for that announcement that they had an outbreak of anthrax in Wyoming. Kind of started out with a dead moose. And we feel like that's probably where it started out with, but the brand inspectors, they kind of got the deal, surrounded, and they found out where the cattle are at. They've got them tested, and as bad as anthrax sounds, it sounds like a hard rock band or something, but as bad as it sounds, it's easily treatable with vaccines or antibiotics. You got to get on it quick, because it will kill several cattle, and it did this time too, but you got to get on it quick whenever you do. You can treat it fairly easily, and get it cleaned up there. But I think that should be plenty enough said about the anthrax deal. And of course, it's not going to bother anybody, any consumers or anything like that. So let's put that deal to bed, and hopefully we see some recovery or some kind of a bounce here this week, and kind of playing out a little bit, because I mean, we are losing this market so fast. It really frustrates you when you look back how long it took to get it where it went to. But don't forget about the Ranchers for Trump rally and roping. It's going to be in Fallon, Nevada on September 28th is the rally day and the roping day. That Friday right before that, the 27th, we're going to have a pretty good special feeder cattle auction. And then have the Trump sale. People that donated cattle to the Trump campaign will be selling those on Saturday evening. Have the Trump rally on Saturday afternoon, earlier on Saturday, and then run it over until Sunday. They're going to have the Ranchers for Trump roping. You guys that like to rope, you like to go places and rope, get a horse over there and go to the Ranchers for Trump roping. It's only an hour's drive. It's an easy hour's drive from Reno, Nevada there, guys. And how cool would it be to have a belt buckle that said Ranchers for Trump? Let's talk about your board for last week. How about October live cattle futures? Of course, Monday was a holiday with Labor Day there. Tuesday started out kind of on the gainer, up 65 cents. Wednesday was down a nickel, and then the losses come. Thursday was down 197, and Friday down 207. October live cattle ended the week at 175.75, down 285 for the week. December live cattle ended the week at 174.70, down 285 also. September feeder cattle, of course, Monday was the holiday. Tuesday was up 90 to start the week out. We thought that was kind of good. Wednesday down $1.75. Thursday down 250. Friday down 282. And September feeder cattle ended the week at 234.30, down 617 for the week. How do you tell somebody that their yearlings are worth over $50 a head less than what they were just a few days before? October feeder cattle ended the week at 230.95, down 680 for the week. Ouch. Grains were up, but not much. December corn ended the week at 406.25 cents a bushel. That was up 5.25 for the week. November beans ended at 10.05 a bushel. That was up 5 cents. Hard red winter wheat for December ended the week at 577.5. That was up 12.25 cents a bushel. Your fat cattle trade up through Thursday, which is the latest information that we had rounded up together. We did have some Friday early sales I'll tell you about in just a minute. But your fat cattle market is brought to you by Legacy Beef Co-op. If you're interested in getting into this deal, guys, it promises you a slot to kill those, and they will be paid upon box beef cutout values, which are not nearly as volatile. But for more information, go to legacybeefcoop.com. But your fat cattle trade through Thursday, 37,300 head. Live prices on fat steers and heifers negotiated through your 5-area feeding region range from 179 to 183.50. That was $2 lower than the previous week. Weighted average price on live steers 181.15, down about $2.50. Dress sales range from 286 to 288, $2 to $5 lower, and your weighted average on dress steers was 287.46, about $3 lower. So I mean, we're losing it in hunks, guys, and once in a while we'll hold it steady. We haven't seen $1 up for quite a while, but guys, you got to stick your heels in the dirt here at some point and stop the bleeding. On Friday, Iowa sold 3,100 head. This is after what I told you, but 3,100 early on Friday, over 17,000 for the week. And your sales have been kind of off a little bit. I mean, the volume of them are down a little bit. Iowa, it wouldn't be anything for them to sell twice that many negotiated, but we haven't seen it here of late. But live sales in Iowa on Friday morning from 180 to 183. That was $2 to $3 lower. Dress sales from 288 to 289, $2 to $4 lower than the previous week. Nebraska sold 4,700 early on Friday. just off of 16,000 for the week. Live sales in Iowa on Friday, only 180 to 181. No premium for the north, for the better quality cattle now from the southern plains. Dress sales in Nebraska, 288. Kansas only had a load of cattle that were confirmed on Friday early, about 8,600 for the week, and all your live sales of fat cattle in Kansas were 181, $2 lower than the previous week, and the same as what they're getting in the northern plains. Texas, 500 head on Friday, 4,200 for the week, and all of them at 181, which was $2 lower, like I said. Box beef cutout values were about steady last week. Your weighted average on all of last week's choice cuts was up 17 cents compared to the previous week's weighted average at $310.80. Your late Friday sales were about $1.40 lower than that at $309.41. Select, your weighted average on all of last week's sales was up just 8 cents, 100 there at $298.10 compared to the previous week's weighted average. And your late Friday sales were about $2 lower than that at $296.12. The choice select spread on your weighted average was $12.70, and all that information on 544 loads of cuts, grinds, and trimmings, which is pretty light. Your slaughter for last week, only 542,000. Of course, we didn't have a Monday kill because of Labor Day, but you compare that to the same Labor Day week a year ago, and that was 17,000 less. So we just keep slaughtering less, we keep trading less fat cattle in a negotiated manner, and the price continues to fall every single week. Let's stop it, guys. Talk about what else is going on. Western Video Market is having a big sale on Tuesday, the 10th. It's from the Haythorne Ranch outside of Ogallala, Nebraska there. They're going to have a big sale there for a one-day sale. The pre-show starts at 9 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock in the morning Central Time on Tuesday. The sale starts at 9:15 promptly, but they're going to have three lots of lambs to start the sale out early on Tuesday morning. Then they'll get into fancy calves, and I do mean fancy. I tell you what, that Western sale does not have to apologize for quality anywhere. But when they start those fancy calves, most of them are going to be in the central part of the United States. They've got a ton of them from Nebraska. That's why they have this sale at the Haythorne Ranch here in Ogallala. A ton of them from Nebraska, South Dakota, Colorado, and Montana. And then they'll start moving west out to Idaho, California, and Washington, and places like that later. But in the afternoon, they've got several lots of yearlings that they're going to sell, and then finish up with breeding stock. So don't forget about that Western Video Market sale at the Haythorne Ranch. You can go to wvmcattle.com and you can access the console there to bid and watch the sale, or you can just go to DVAuction.com and select the Western Video Market sale and do it like that. Let's talk about your feeder cattle market. Your real-time index on DVAuction, based on an 800-pound cash auction steer up through your middle 12 states in a 7-day moving average, ended the week at 243.46. That was actually up 54 cents compared to the end of the previous week, which really didn't end until Labor Day Monday. But we had some fairly good sales that were waiting until after Labor Day to have them, and so some nice cattle brought some decent prices there. The market was just a pinch better there on your 7-day moving average. It was a pinch lower on your CME cash feeder cattle index. It's 242.18. Don't forget about also on Tuesday, Unionville Livestock Market in Unionville, Missouri. That's Tuesday the 10th. They're going to have a special feeder cattle and feeder calf and yearling sale, about 1,000 head, several nice loads there from some of their best consigners. Unionville Livestock Market. Get on to dvauction.com and check them out here tomorrow on Tuesday the 10th. Talk about your cash feeder trends. It started out really slow because on Monday, Labor Day, we didn't have any sales really to speak of at all. All your high volume Monday sales were closed. And so it was kind of slow getting going, and then a lot of people didn't work over the holiday weekend to get their cattle up to sell them on Tuesday, so our runs were fairly light on Tuesday. On Wednesday we started selling cattle, and they sold pretty well, steady to $5 lower in most of our bigger Wednesday sales. Of course, the board had been kind of helpful there early in the week, but then as we went mid to late week and the board was down, we lost most of what we had gained earlier in the week. A lot of your feeder cattle selling steady to $2 lower late in the week, although fancy calves and big strings of them that we're starting to get now that we're basically in the fall run, they sold fully steady where they were available there. Give you some individual quotes from all over the country. How about Wahoo Livestock Sales, my favorite town to call the name out of, in Wahoo, Nebraska. 62 steers weighed 963 and bring 238, that close to 1,000 pounds, guys. How about Edina Livestock in Edina, Missouri? Both of those sales DVAuction broadcasters. 62 steers in Edina weighed 923 and bring 247. And you said, wait, that's as much as they ever brought. Yeah, pretty much, if you get the right kind in there. How about Santa Teresa Livestock Auction down on the border in New Mexico, Santa Teresa, New Mexico? They sold 73 little 404-pound lightweight Mexican steers at $315, which doesn't sound all that bad. My buddy Tato Medina is going to host one of the LMA World Champion Livestock Auctioneer qualifier events in November. If you've been interested in going down there, that'd be a good time to go down, guys. How about Bluegrass Stockyards in Richmond, Kentucky? Now, they like to do business with Jim Dawes there. And even though he's right in town, trucks roll right in there, back up and unload, and they sell them in strings there, guys, a lot of times. 235 steers in Richmond, Kentucky at the Bluegrass Stockyards there, weighed 875 and bring $240. Way out in Kentucky, guys. But the most impressive quote that I saw anywhere late last week or over the weekend, your Macrison, no BS, top quote for the day, come out of Bloomington, Wisconsin at the Bloomington Livestock Exchange. I tell you what, they had a whale of a sale out there. Check out these 62 steers in the upper Midwest selling to farmer feeders around there, guys. 62 steers weighed 863 and bring 253.50. And that's your feeder flash for Monday.